Can you just check?
We have a weird angle here.
It's a lot closer. I guess it's my iPad here. See if you can see it on there.
Come on.
God dang it. I'm still over there. Alright. This is going to be posted after anyway. There we go. Alright. Okay. So my thing is off. I see Carno Fanboy, Utopic. Alright. Thank you for coming over. Alright, it's better. Good. Alright. Yeah, this is my iPad here. It's got a closer angle, but, you know, the quality is the most important part. Man, it is a lot better quality. Goodness. A little too good quality. Okay, so basically what we were talking about Godzilla drawing through the earth, and then we might as well... Do we just want to get to Mechagodzilla?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I we should probably talk about that. I think they made him look really, really cool. I mean, it was an awesome look. I think I mentioned it in the or after when we were leaving the movie theater. Some of his moves, especially with like his hand, I saw it like spinning, almost like the Jaeger's hands do a little bit when they shoot things off. His eyes looked amazing, and it was such an amazing scene when. Because at first I was like, it'd be kind of weird if it's like it's not even Mechagodzilla, it's someone controlling him. But then when it was actually its own. It was its own being, which from other channels and from what I've heard, it sounds like it was actually King Ghidorah's soul that was basically like powering Mechagodzilla, which really explains why he was beating the living crap out of Godzilla in that scene.
Yeah, he was angry about him
because Godzilla literally shredded him less than a year ago. I'm not sure. That's one question I have. What was the time jump from Godzilla King of the Monsters to this?
Yeah, that was interesting because I saw someone bring up the fact that the technology got like way better.
Yeah.
And then like it wasn't that big of a time jump. I think it was real time.
I think that's usually how these movies are. It's like the year is what it is. But I definitely think Mechagodzilla looked amazing, and that fight was really cool with him just coming over and that one shot of Godzilla and Mechagodzilla, both Godzilla and Mechagodzilla doing their atomic breaths right at each other, the blue and the red, and it was kind of like matching each other. But then
awesome.
The Mechagodzilla's atomic breath just overwhelmed Godzilla and just blew him back. And at that point, he did the 3 building move, slamming his head into 3 different buildings. Because the angle was showing from one building, like, oh my god, they're really gonna have him go through 3 different windows, and they did.
Yeah, Mechagodzilla, I have to say, from the middle scene, the first reveal of him in the growl is awesome, and then him in that end fight, he's just so cool. And Mechagodzilla, I've already seen so many video ideas, but I'm trying to think. I was gonna do a video. I might do a video just breaking down each monster, even Godzilla and Kong again, since they have different abilities in this one. But Mechagodzilla is so flipping powerful, and I loved how when he charges. I mean, Godzilla just fought Kong for how long? But I love how Mechagodzilla did the, like, boost where it, like, pushed him forward, and then he threw a punch, and then he, like, came around, and, I mean, you see his really deadly, like, sword tail at the end that would have totally killed Kong. I don't know what it would have done to Godzilla.
Thankfully, they spilled beer on the...
Well, I know, and that's what we were going to talk about, is obviously the fight was awesome, and Kong coming in to save Godzilla is awesome, them fighting with each other, and the humans, it just goes to show you, though, to defeat Mechagodzilla, they needed Kong, Godzilla, and human help. Which I was not a big fan of having the humans help in that fight. They helped a little bit. I didn't really like them having to help at all.
Yeah. But, well, hey, like I said, it could have been a lot worse if they had, when they did that and they spilled that guy's drink on the machine or like the computer. If that would have shut down Mechagodzilla completely, then that would have just been completely stupid because then Godzilla and Kong would just stand there like, what the heck? So I'm glad that they at least realized that would be a bad decision.
Yeah, and to get to some comments, let's see.
Yeah, Carno Fanboy, 100%. That was a really, really cool scene. It's awesome to see characters from past movies and monsters brought back, which is why I was so excited to see a lot of monsters that we've already seen going through the MonsterVerse to this point. But seeing the Skullcrawler jump out of there was a giant one. I'm not sure if it was the same size as the big one from Kong Skull Island, but it was definitely huge, and he got absolutely shredded by Mechagodzilla. It was kind of a cool idea too, because when they came in there, and the one guy, I think his name was Bernie, said how like this is like the sacrifice pit, and I was wondering if at first if they were like letting different monsters like fight each other in that area, but then you realize they were just testing Mechagodzilla, how powerful he could be, who he could defeat, and that was definitely a really cool scene, seeing him come back. Even though it was a quick fight, you still got to see a Skullcrawler for a little bit.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make a comment about that later. I think someone said that was Alpha Skullcrawler because of how big it was. I'm not sure about that for sure, but basically to try to read some old comments here. Jamar Brown says, "Is Mechagodzilla the most powerful Titan?" I mean,
I mean,
that's a tough
if
one.
he's throwing around Godzilla, then I think he's got to be up there.
I mean, yeah,
Godzilla is the king of the monsters.
I was thinking about he's got to be up there with King Ghidorah, and I was just thinking about it. The way he was fighting Godzilla, he was beating Godzilla around a lot worse than what King Ghidorah was doing to Godzilla. But at the same time, King Ghidorah was fighting a powered up Godzilla, and Mechagodzilla was fighting a freaking beat up Godzilla. So I don't know. I'll definitely have an opinion on that later, but he's up there for sure.
Red Skullcrawler.
Yeah, it did have a red spot on his back. I don't know why. Mechagodzilla versus Mega Kaiju. Yeah, Utopic. Yeah, definitely. I'm definitely doing that one. Sick Battle. Keijon. Yeah, he said that. Utopic. Who would win and who's taller? Well, yeah, the height of Mechagodzilla is something we definitely need to figure out. And then Utopic said the time jump is 5 years. Yeah, and Christian said 5 years. So
someone mentioned 55 years from when Kong Skull Island ended to this point, so that means Kong had 55 years to grow that beard and like everything just gets stronger, more experienced.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
That's one question I want to ask you guys in the chat. My knowledge isn't the greatest with the monster, not the monsters, but just what these things can be and like the overall stories from the past movies. But is there such thing as a Mecha King Ghidorah? Is that a thing? I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, I think so.
If there is, and that's goodness gracious. I mean,
yeah,
I'm sure that's gotta be crazy powerful.
Please don't spam the chat. I don't know what's going on.
But yeah, no, seriously though, I would love to see that in the future. Mechagodzilla team up with Mecha King Ghidorah.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious, that would be a battle right there for sure. And there's also other ones we haven't even seen yet, like the vine thing with the rat face, whatever it's called. Biollante.
Yeah. Yeah, I see someone saying Monster Madness Season 3. And yeah, you don't need to spam the chat. Yeah, Monster Madness Season 3 will be coming out next year. I don't know what I'm going to do at the end of the year, but most likely I will be doing that. It'll be next year, March. Don't know when I'll announce it, because there really wasn't that many. That was a question I missed in the last live stream. Well, the other version of the live stream that was started, someone said, what happened to all the other monsters? Because I saw a video by Altiri who was talking about how it said destroyed or defeated. And I saw that video and I saw the movie, and our opinion, at least my opinion walking out, was it doesn't mean they're dead, because Rodan went back to the volcano.
Yeah, and it just means defeated.
Yeah, and even when Godzilla beat Kong, he didn't kill him.
No.
He was trying to kill him in the water, at least maybe just try to defeat him that way. He had no other choice. But just because it says defeated did not mean killed, because Godzilla, when he saw Kong on the ground, he growled at him. He didn't kill him. And so that defeated, I just think, means that...
It sounds like they were hibernating, apparently.
Really?
Well, like you said, I mean, a lot of them came out because King Ghidorah was calling them out in the last one. That was kind of their idea with like the sound waves and everything with the what's it called? The orca from King of the Monsters. But it definitely seemed like a lot of them after the end of that movie, they realized Godzilla was the alpha and they went back to wherever they were from, like originally, like Rodan back to the volcano. I mean, I'd like to think that a lot of them went to the Hollow Earth and were living in that whole area, which is why I wanted to see a lot of them in that area. They did show us a lot of stuff. I guess we might as well get into that. The Warbat, or it was the
Warbat.
The Warbat. You got to see two of those, and at least two. You also get to see the Hellhawks, and we also get to see a couple of these like crab, like spider things in the ground.
Yeah.
And this like lizard looking thing. I'm pretty sure that's all the things we saw. There might have been. Oh, that's right. They also had the ugly butt birds that you saw on Kong Skull Island, which is a cool. When I saw them, I was like, that's great. That's stuff that we've seen in the. And I even looked at it pretty closely when you saw one come close to the camera, and they were the exact same ones as the ones that kind of attacked the people. Not too much, but they actually, I think, hold on. They did actually kill the one of the, not the very, talking about, they like brought him in the air and like actually killed him. So those were, I'm pretty sure that's what that was.
Yeah, and so...
Psycho vultures?
Yeah, I did
possibly, yeah.
What was I going to say? No, yeah, the Warbat in particular, I want to say that was really cool. That was an awesome fight scene. Apparently, according to Jeremy, the Hollow Earth had no meaning. And that fight scene didn't happen to him, apparently. I love monster fights, and that was a great one. Kong runs in, slams the first one on the ground, kills it, and then swings it around, hits the other one, but then the Warbat in close combat is a threat. I mean, Kong. This is a strong, powerful, big Kong, and he goes in. Warbat like wraps his tail around him, is like about to suffocate him with the wing, which is an interesting technique. I was wondering how that monster would fight, and that's apparently how he does it. He wraps around you and suffocates you with the wing. I'm guessing that's what he was doing.
And I'm not sure if you guys saw the same thing that I did, but when they showed it close, when the Warbat was growling back at Kong, I saw a big correlation or like relationship to a snake, a king cobra, personally with like the, I guess whatever it's called, like the wings kind of looked like the part around the face of a king cobra, and then the way that it coiled up around Kong was like a snake.
But it can fly.
Yeah, it can fly. So I think that maybe was where they came up with that idea, like, which is why I love these monsters. Is that an actual original one, or is that one that the director created? Because
I
the
think
director created Behemoth in the last one.
Well, yeah, I think that's like a new concept. I don't know. I think there might have been no. So here's the weird thing. Someone was saying how there was the start of Destroya there because before we saw anything, we just saw leaked toy leaks. Someone thought it was the start of Destroya because he starts out as a snake and then something else and turns into a giant wing thing. And the wings kind of go away and come back. But I don't know. They could honestly say, I don't know. Because since there's two of them, I don't think that is even in the realm of possibility.
That is a good point.
It's still really cool.
Someone just made about the humans helping Kong too much. That is true. The humans did save Kong's life twice, at least. I mean, the one time I'm not counting because they're the ones that put the chains on him in the first place. But when they shot the air bombs in the ground to like give him a chance to get back to the surface to breathe, that was the humans saving him. Which also, I guess the humans kind of put him in that position anyway. But then the second time with the Warbat, they had to save him from there too. So I can see how that could show him. Yeah, because remember they shot the guns. He was gonna be suffocated if he didn't get.
That's
that thing
true.
Shot.
That is
so
true.
Definitely makes me feel a little bit weaker than usual. So that is true. That is kind of frustrating, and it would have been nice to see him defeat at least one on his own, and like maybe like one sneaked up on or something like that.
Except maybe that sums something up there that Kong there is no longer. He is the king though. With his axe, no doubt, he's the alpha down there. But I think maybe that's summing up that there used to be a bunch of Kongs down there. So there wasn't a guarantee Kong could have been on the menu because there's a bunch of them down there. Maybe that's what they're saying. But I did want to read, Mr. G said, can we talk about how powerful Godzilla's atomic breath was in the movie? Punched a hole all the way through the earth. Yeah, we talked about that earlier. That was a crazy scene and shows that Godzilla's power levels ridiculous.
One complaint I was seeing too, it's not really a complaint from me. I mean, I love seeing the atomic breath as much as possible. But I think it was Angry Joe mentioned it. I saw a couple other people mention it too. It's like he was doing it too much, because like I think it's great to see. It's a great visual, but there's so many more things that Godzilla can do besides just do the atomic breath. Like he has his tail that you saw him use his tail to destroy those two battleships. He has his claws, his arms, which aren't the longest, but still, like he can use his arms for stuff. I mean, he grabbed one of the Mudos in the first Godzilla 2014 and slammed it back with his hand. His mouth, he can bite. He was doing a lot of stuff, but the atomic breath he was doing a lot. But there's just so many things I think he can do that we haven't even seen yet. That as far as like moves go, like running. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that Godzilla can do.
Yeah, and Godzilla always has a reason to kill a Titan. It doesn't make sense for Godzilla to kill the other Titans for no reason. Yeah, and that's why I don't think he killed him. I think they just counted as defeating. Then Godzilla didn't kill the other Titans because Godzilla didn't kill Kong doesn't make sense. Yeah, he didn't kill them. He didn't kill Kong, so there's no reason for him to kill the other ones.
And I think that the intro was a great. I can't wait to see that again. Seriously, I cannot wait to see the intro again. Because it was almost like what you do with the Monster Madness. Like you were showing the matchups. It showed like a bracket, and I want to slow it down and see who Godzilla and who beat who. Because I want to see who else it said Kong beat. Because I was trying to see. I thought I saw what's his name, Methuselah, and someone else on the Godzilla defeat side, which is really cool to think about him defeating them, or maybe just them bowing in the Godzilla King of Monsters was them being defeated. So maybe they didn't even fight one-on-one.
Yeah, and Kijan says, I love gruesome kaiju fights. Yeah, I felt like, wait, you already read that. So, how did Kong survive a bite from a Warbat? Well,
did he get bit?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of forget if he got bit.
I mean, the tail was doing stuff. Utopic says, shoot. Someone said, who mentioned that? Or no, Jamar Brown says, how do you think Kong took the atomic breath? It seemed like he took it fine, even though it did definitely damage him. I was surprised.
You want to be under it long.
I mean, the fact that he's able to like take it and not like have to go through him is a good sign as far as how much damage he can take. Because Godzilla he's just an absolute war machine. I mean, he was still taking Mechagodzilla's red beam or whatever that is
Yeah.
right into him, and it was like it made him like glow up a little bit, but it didn't like go through him at all, which is it just shows how much Godzilla can take. I mean, he took a lot of stuff in the movies he's been in,
Well, and that's
and
the
he's
thing.
still battling.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing I was talking about. How, I mean, whoever made it out of the Kong versus Godzilla fight was gonna have to fight Mechagodzilla, and I think
Yeah.
in a way, I mean, Kong, God, he would have been. It would have been a rough fight, and Godzilla definitely has that durability. I think that's the main reason why he won. It's because, I mean, Godzilla is a. I mean, I think that's the main reason. Like when you think about the fight between Kong and Godzilla, Godzilla has a lot more durability. That's shown there. He's kind of a dinosaur type thing, and he can take those hits. I don't know. I would have been interested to see Mechagodzilla's tail, how much he could have taken from that, because I know that tail would have killed Kong. I don't know if that sharp tail in Godzilla's face would have done anything. It was in the scene. That was the crazy thing before Kong saved him. When Mechagodzilla was actually trying to open up his mouth to kill him like that.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy. It seems like the Muto would want to do that if that was like the Muto brain. But it's King Ghidorah's. And that was kind of crazy that I think the humans must have saw Godzilla do that, and then they were trying to like, maybe it was just a callback to that.
I was going to say, it's kind of cool how these, in the MonsterVerse, I was going to say it was Kong's trademark, but it seems like both have kind of done it. Like Godzilla 2014, he grabbed a guy's, like when he blew his atomic breath right down his throat. I guess it was her throat, it was the female Muto at the end.
Yeah.
But like was holding the head and then dropped it. But Kong's trademark in this one was to rip the head off. Like he ripped the Warbat's head off and held it and then started to eat it, which is really cool.
That's true, I forgot about that.
But then at the end, he basically grabbed the spine of Mechagodzilla and held the head up in the air, which is like a cool. I mean, that's real. That'd be awesome to see every single time he wins a battle. I was gonna say it was every single time, but then when he beat the Scroll Crawler, he didn't really rip the head off of that. He pulled the thing. He wasn't really. He was trying to protect the girl in that scene, but still. The way that they do that, like at the end of a battle, it's just like the dominance of like holding the head, dropping the head, and I think someone said a comment. It's actually a really cool thing to think about. At the end, when Godzilla faces off with Kong, even after like Kong had helped save Godzilla's life, as they're walking off, Godzilla growls at Kong, and to me and a lot of other people, Kong basically dropped the axe, kneeling essentially, saying like, "Yeah, you're still in charge, Godzilla. I'm not going to challenge you right now."
So I disagree with that
because he dropped the axe and because he was holding it. And why would you drop it? I mean, I know you could say like he wanted to show he wasn't going to fight him, but to me, it just was showing Kong was like, "Hey, you're the man today, Godzilla. You're the alpha, but sometime I'm coming back to take that throne." Because he has his throne down in the Hollow Earth.
Yeah. So here's my explanation for it. So basically, when Godzilla beat him in the fight and stepped on his chest and ground his face, Kong tried to get back up. He didn't give up. He was trying to stand up and he was literally dying. And then at the end, he drops the axe. And in the way I interpreted it was he dropped the axe and he was just saying we're done fighting. He didn't kneel. If he bowed, he would have bowed. He just dropped the axe. I mean, dropping the axe just means I'm not going to kill you. Or I'm not going to try to kill you right now. And so then Godzilla growls. They both stand off. He does not kneel. He stands up to him, just drops the axe, kind of like a peace treaty, and then swims off. That was my opinion of it.
But
do not bow.
I mean, to your side of the argument, this is what I was going to say. But aside from that, yeah, he dropped the axe, but apparently I didn't see this. I'm gonna check this next time I see it. He was still holding Mechagodzilla's head.
So what do you mean by that?
So by that, he's just showing that I killed Mechagodzilla and I'm still in charge. He was still holding the head? Apparently he was holding that in his left hand.
I'll have to check that
Which is why he was like, I wanted to see him like hold up and be like, I freaking killed Mechagodzilla, so I'm the alpha. And then like, I don't know. But as far as like them teaming up, we haven't really talked about that yet. That was really cool. The way they were both holding like an arm of Mechagodzilla, and he was still able to battle both Godzilla and Kong, which shows how powerful Mechagodzilla is. But
here, let me just catch up.
Godzilla was shooting his atomic breath into the axe from Kong and was helping him like build it up. And there's a comment I wanted to read too.
Yeah, let me just. So King said, "Is he going to be the same monsters from the first one, the second one? I want different ones. You can bring back." Oh yeah, you're talking about Monster Madness. Yeah, we still got a long way to go for that. I'll definitely get more details on that as we get there. We are brothers. We are brothers, not cousins.
Yeah. The Carno one I wanted to mention just really quickly and read it. I'm hoping this is true. This is awesome. This is an awesome theory here, but it said, Carno fanboy says, "Hey guys, did you know that the Ghidorah in King of the Monsters was just a juvenile scared away from a bigger adult King Ghidorah from Hollow Earth?" I'm all for that theory just because I want to see more of these things. And
If that's a juvenile,
and-
we're in trouble.
I think that I believe it because like you're saying, like he was scared out of Hollow Earth and he went to the Antarctica and then just froze. So that'd be an awesome theory right there.
I mean, I'm
all
fine
for
with,
it, Carno.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, I think I'd rather have like him come from another planet, another like monster
We
planet.
could do that too.
Even though I guess it's probably better if it's Hollow Earth because then how do you get Godzilla off Earth? I mean, that's kind of a tough thing there. But and then Mr. G said, I mean, this particular movie was made sense why Godzilla was using the atomic breath a lot because he hasn't fought against any agile Kong, so his atomic breath was a nice counter to that. Yeah, there's no doubt. Let's see. Which monster from Pacific Rim other franchise do you want should have been in the MonsterVerse? Well, I mean, I'd love to see Pacific Rim crossover. I'm still hoping that'll happen. It all really depends on how well the Godzilla vs. Kong does. Because if this doesn't do good, then
Sounds like it's doing good.
I don't know the future. It sounds like it's doing good. So
plus the HBO Max contract.
yeah, and then let's see. So Rodan versus Behemoth. Yeah, that's a good matchup. Let me see. Fran says Movie Mania, Kong destroy Mechagodzilla using battle axe. Well, yeah, that's true. The battle, that's the thing. I saw people commenting before I saw the movie talking about a supercharged axe. I'm like, what are you talking about? But then now I understand after watching the end of the movie. Pacific Rim versus. Oh, wait, hang on. All right. So yeah, basically, what were you talking about the team up scene?
Well, the team of scene, I already mentioned everything about it. It was a really cool team up, and like the way that they did it, he was using his atomic breath to basically charge up the axe. But I want to mention how really well they did a great job of like humanizing Kong. And like I said, to the detriment of the character by making him seem like he was a little bit too weak. And he needed humans to help him a few times. But the way that like he seemed like you could just totally relate to him. Like you said before, how sad you felt when he was just like. Just being destroyed at the end, like almost dying, basically on his deathbed for the most part, and still trying to battle through that. But after he got recharged, basically from I'm not sure what it was called exactly, but the transport vehicle or I guess plane or whatever it is that they flew into Hollow Earth, when they used that to basically bring back Kong and save his wife, he stands up and he looks over at Godzilla getting his butt kicked by Mechagodzilla, and the little girl character, which we haven't talked about at all. She did a great job. Liked her character a lot. And honestly, out of the entire cast, it seemed like she actually did the best job out of everyone, in my opinion, honestly, the way that she pulled her character off without saying a word. It was all just through sign language and that relationship between her and him. Because she was the last member of that tribe that he had already been protecting on that island, which is a cool little storyline there.
Yeah.
But the way they did that, and he's looking over at that going on, she's like, Godzilla's not the enemy, you need to go help him out. And Kong, I forget what he said exactly, but it was like, he is the enemy, but then like at that point, he was actually gonna go over and probably start fighting Godzilla, to be honest, right? Or just leave him.
Well, he's probably just gonna say F with it. He's probably gonna let that work out. I mean, I did like the sign language aspect of the movie, but I did want to mention about the fight that I mentioned in the review that one part gave me chills, and it was definitely when Kong stepped over and they started working together in that scene. That's definitely the scene that gave me chills. But I did want to mention the sign language thing is something that I had to mention. I couldn't mention it in the non-spoiler. Is when Kong first gives the sign language. I thought it was caught me by such a massive surprise. I had no idea that was going to happen.
That was.
And I thought at first I was like, okay, I was a little off with it. I'm like, really sign language? But then the more it happened, I totally bought it. Like I was totally fine with it. And I
She already had sign language.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Just seeing Kong do it the first time, I was a little off. I was like, what in the world? And I was shocked. But then, as it went along, I don't know why people don't like that, because that's a great way to communicate with the monster. Like, otherwise, they're just running around. You don't know what they're doing. And you could do it without the sign language, but I thought that was a really good way to communicate. And especially in that end scene, that is really important there, that communication. Because otherwise, why would Kong just jump over? That little dialogue, I think, really makes that work at the end.
And it makes sense, too. I mean, we've seen Caesar from Planet of the Apes do it. I mean, it's not ridiculous. Like... I mean, he's pretty smart. He's a freaking gorilla.
Yeah, no, it is. And you're actually on screen. You're on screen. Is it fair? No, but yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, and Caesar obviously is more like a human, even though Kong is more like a human too. But and yeah,
that's Kong true. He only said, well, you know, he said a couple other things because he said home obviously at first, and then probably the second time, and then at the end he said he is the enemy, so he did say something else.
I mean, obviously, he doesn't have perfect English. I mean, he's a freaking giant ape. But I mean, yeah, there is one thing I wanted to mention about the weight difference, and this is something that I've been arguing about forever, and there is no doubt that the weight difference keeps going in my argument in this movie, because you see Kong get carried by like a net in this movie, and Godzilla's able to step on his chest. I mean, he does freaking hurt him really bad. But the weight in this movie just totally goes and that's just more in particular for the versus videos. Because people were trying to say how the MonsterVerse weighs like 10, 20, 30, 40 times more than the Pacific Rim. And there's just no effing way after watching this video. But that'll be another video for another time.
Wait,
But,
the Camazot, see, that's where I got thrown off. I thought the Camazot was like a bat-looking thing.
No, it is.
I like a bat face, but was that even in this movie?
No, it wasn't. That was something I effed up on. Well, I saw it in some concept art, and I thought I heard the actors talking about how like this is a cool scene that we were flying around and stuff, but I don't even know where that actor went. But yeah, Camazot was the big bat, and there were little ones around. That's why when I thought the little ones were flying around, I was for sure he was going to come out of the ceiling. But yeah, Carno Fanboy says, I bet Warbat's the same size as Gypsy Danger. Yeah, I don't know. The size is something I definitely got to figure out. I mean, the Warbat was standing up to Kong, and the main thing is the Skullcrawler. I've heard someone say it was Alpha Skullcrawler. Let me know if anyone's heard about that. But the Alpha Skullcrawler, if it was, it kind of makes sense, because when Mechagodzilla picked him up, he was like the same size as him, which his tail's long, so maybe that looked like that. But didn't it look like the Skullcrawler was like the same size as Mechagodzilla?
Not really. Massive. When he holds him, you can see he's a lot smaller. But
I'll have to watch it again. But in that scene, for some reason, it looked like he was really close.
Yeah. But the fact that there was like he was number 10 when he said release number 10, that shows how many things he actually had in that area.
I wish you could have seen other ones. And then you saw like the baby Skullcrawlers in there, you know.
You almost have like a Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom moment where like someone hits a button and they all come running out. They probably all start fighting, but still.
Yeah. But yeah, basically there's no end credit scene. I also want to mention something about the end credit scene. That does suck. I don't know why they wouldn't do an end credit scene. I was hoping to do some end credit scene teasing Pacific Rim. I mean, always to leave something open. Talking about the financial future not being certain. That doesn't matter. You still do it. You don't just stop because there's no certain future.
Yeah.
You plan ahead because that's what you're doing.
No, it's just brutal.
I mean,
to not have an end credit scene, that really sucks.
Yeah, but basically, we already gave our grades. I gave it a 10 out of 10. You gave it 9.9.
Yeah, I gave it 9.9 because of things like that. No end credit scene. Not seeing Behemoth. Not seeing any of the other Titans at any point was definitely frustrating to me. Obviously, what I was expecting could never happen, but still, I just wanted to see a little more analysis, some backstory on the Hollow Earth stuff before it started, like more stuff between Kong and Godzilla, all that stuff that wasn't in it, which is why I'm taking off 0.1, which is not much, but still, it's like it's frustrating.
But this movie, just a little recap. I'm probably gonna wrap this up. Thanks everyone who joined.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys.
Basically, this movie was really good. It's a movie we've been waiting for so long. Godzilla is awesome. Kong is awesome. The CGI is amazing. I loved the world building. I saw a fellow YouTuber, Red Comics, talking about it. They definitely didn't do certain stuff as far as expanding on stuff. They had the perfect layout for it. Showing the Hollow Earth was great. And showing like the axe and the skull is already something. But in some of the subplots, they definitely should have went into at least the guy talking about the theory of Hollow Earth. Because then at that point, you could just have him make a made up theory and have it be true. So at least have him talk about it. And because we've heard about the Kong species, the war against the Kongs and Godzillas, like at least if we could have seen something teasing at that would have been so cool for setting up something else. The Hollow Earth alone sets up a lot, but I just think they could have done something better there. But at the end of the day, the fights were amazing. I love the new monsters. Mechagodzilla was amazing. I loved Warbat and Kong and Godzilla. They were all amazing in the movie.
Yeah.
And they were great action scenes. And hopefully we got to support films like these and get a sequel and keep this universe alive.
Definitely go support films like these. We're at least going to check it out at least 1 or 2 more times. Probably 3, close to 3, just to watch it with like the dine-in theater. See where it's at. Tell all your friends that want to see this, go check it out. Because like Kay just said, I want to see this universe go on and on and on because it is a limitless, endless universe. It should never end. All this stuff about contracts and stuff about Godzilla, like I don't want to be hearing about that. I want them to be working together, making great films, because the American ones, I know a lot of people love the other ones and like how it looks over there, because that's, hey, some people like different styles of movies, but this is what I love the most, and I want to see this keep going because the special effects are perfect in my mind. There's nothing wrong with them, and it's amazing that we're able to see films like these still. So yeah, awesome movie. Go support it, and let them know that you want to see a sequel and you want to see end credits for the next one too. Because I mean, it's always just that's my favorite thing about these like, what are they called, multi, or I guess it's obviously the monster verse, like connected universes where like characters can show up in different movies and monsters, and it's just a lot of cool, great things that I just want to see play out. I'm glad that we got this amazing matchup movie between two of the most iconic kaiju / monsters ever, between Kong and Godzilla, and you got to see who won. But still, I want to see it keep going, and and just keep seeing these movies.
Yeah, and what was I gonna say? Yeah, and obviously there's certain critics that don't like the connected universe, and so I really hope that's not the reason why they didn't do it.
Utopic, I agree.
Yeah, I'm gonna read these last 4 comments. So, Mr. G, I wonder how Godzilla would have done against Mechagodzilla if he wasn't tired, injured from fighting. I believe he would have done a bit better. Yeah, I think so. There's no doubt he would have, because he would have been full strength. I still think it would have been. I still think he has it majorly stacked against him. Mechagodzilla was just flipping ridiculous. I think it would have been better. Still think Mechagodzilla wins that fight though easily. Chrono Fanboy, actually it's not the Alpha Skullcrawler. Other Skullcrawler actually live in Hollow Earth. Ramarok was the biggest Skullcrawler on Skull Island, but bigger one from Hollow Earth. Okay. So, yeah, I don't know what was up with the red in the back of his head then. Utopic, please do more live streams. Yeah, we definitely will.
Yeah, definitely.
And Utopic told a ton of my friends. Some are fans of the Monsterverse. All right. Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Good.
Well, I mean, you can, if you like the movie, then you definitely can recommend it. It's not.
I appreciate that, Utopic.
We got to keep this universe going. But
it's more films like these.
Yeah, thanks everyone who joined this live stream. We'll have a bunch of videos coming out soon, breakdowns of each character, and plenty of versus videos. And plenty of versus videos coming soon.
So thanks for watching, guys, and like I said, let us know down in the comments what you guys think about this, especially on this video. You can spoil all you want and have spoiler conversations in this one, and just let it all loose in the comment section, and we'll be trying to go in and comment on which ones we can, and hey, give ideas of what you want us to talk about more. We can always do a part 2 spoiler discussion, because there's probably stuff that we didn't even talk about. Like we barely even talked about the initial fight, or how they had a containment facility on Skull Island. Lots of stuff that we didn't even touch on. So lots of great stuff. So exactly. So thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you guys in the next video or live stream. Bye, guys.
And you probably said we need more films. The world needs it.
Yes, I agree. Great way to end it.
That's a great wrap up. And the world needs more videos.
See you guys.